morning, everybody. You're joining Logical XS. It's 10:21, Saturday, June 16th, and this is Witcher 3, Blood and Wine playthrough number 15. It's been a couple of weeks. I've had 2 weeks worth of guests. Well, I had a guest stay for about 2 weeks, more than I expected, and that's part of the reason why I haven't streamed. So they departed yesterday on good terms. We had fun. I mean, it's not a nothing like that. So yeah, that was basically, this is the first day that I haven't had an opportunity to get back to streaming this game. I've also had a crazy week at work being on night shifts, and I'm just now kind of feeling normal, like I'm readjusting to a normal schedule this morning. So I was considering streaming last night, but I just really didn't feel up to it. So let's go ahead and plow on through Blood and Wine.
I see you gather before me. Hungry, terrified, clutching your babes to your breast. Emperor Emhyr has marched his legions into our lands.
Just sipping on some blackstrap molasses. Instead of hot coffee, I'm doing blackstrap molasses in the mornings now, because it's supposed to help with potassium level, iron levels, and the B vitamin complex, which a lot of people tend to be deficient in. Good morning, man. Hey, Cars Jim, I think you're always hitting me up about the cat armor in Blood and Wine, and I just want to let you know that I have it now. So, okay, we're on a quest called La Cage au Feu. Look for the White Slayer. So okay. So we met with Regis in the graveyard, and he tells us that we need to go find this white to brew a concoction. So let's go ahead and do it. We need a salivary glands, and that'll help push the story forward. Yeah, I have it on. Geralt, where I just have the problem is I have the professor's spectacles on. Let me take them off here. See? And I think I even have the feline swords, by the way. But I put yeah, I have a Grandmaster feline steel sword, but I haven't made the silver sword yet, but I have Cassis Foederis. Both have the Severance rune on them.
Remains, flout its writ and brought in chains.
Where am I supposed to be going? Okay. Come on, I'm like, where's the nearest sign? There we are. Here we are. The other thing I've done too is I've done some off-screen farming, so I've actually farmed up to about 10,000 crowns, and I've respec'd my Witcher. I'm going for what they call like a Euphoria build. And I'm going the wrong friggin' way. Alright, let's put some Spectre oil on the sword here. And we're just going to down as many. Basically, I pretty much can drink any potion that I want with this new build. We'll put Blizzard on. We'll put Maribor Forest, Black Blood, Petrie's Filter. Basically, your attack power just goes through the roof, you want to understand.
Guests. Never a good omen.
Is it me or am I getting like some like slowdown in the game, like graphical slowdown? What are my signs? I have the I just have the standard normal signs, I guess. Looks like I'm looting a lot of spoons here. Yeah.
Sense that the spoons are beating out some kind of rhythm, a message, trying to tell me something.
Oh, you want to see my build? Okay. I'm not trying to... Actually, I have a point available, and I don't remember where the heck I want to use it. I think I want to put it in alchemy. No. I'm holding on to points because I'm doing the transmutation. I need this point. I don't want to use it. I need this point to get here to Toxic Blood. Excuse me. Not Toxic Blood. I need to get to Euphoria. So this build, there's no emphasis on sign usage on this build. It's just potions and attack. Power.
None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall sate you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror. Sounds like a curse, all right. Somebody's clearly obsessed. Regis mentioned the place might be cursed. Can't be a coincidence. Need to look around.
Man, to be honest, like the hood, this cat armor is really good, but I really don't like the fact that the hood kind of covers up Geralt's face, man. I think that way you can't really see the haircut and the beard. Soiled letter. Marlene, my dearest daughter, you've no idea the pain it causes a father to write these words. A father who must abandon his own child ceased to be a father, and his heart shall never know comfort. Sadly, as a result of what has happened, I have no other choice. We, along with the rest of the household, must abandon our estate. It is because that curse took you from us, leaving in your stead a mindless, bloodthirsty creature. We shall go to north to Kovir, and if you ever read this letter, which could only mean you have returned to human form, you are to look for us there. For my part, I can only promise each year I will send an envoy who will be tasked with checking in on you, seeing if you are alive, and if so, in what form. Faith that you will once again be my beloved Marlene gives me the strength to live on. Perhaps the curse will not last forever. Perhaps someone will come along that can lift this burden from you. Farewell, your loving father.
Pigsty. Need to search it thoroughly. Find a way to collect some white saliva.
I have a spoon right here.
White's obsessed. A real collector. Thoroughbred. Spoon. Pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old.
Stained diary. For a few days now, I've been having dizzy spells. I've never experienced anything like this before. If it carries on, although I can't stand witchcraft and sorcery, I'll have to visit a herbalist. The dizziness has not gone away. Worst of all, it's been joined by pain, so strong that at times I cannot see. I've been to the herbalist. A repulsive old crone looked at me like she had seen a monster. She gave me some cursed mixture that I have to drink twice a day. It's not helping at all. Today, like every day, I looked in the mirror and I was a loss for words. I usually check that I don't have any wrinkles or bags under my eyes, but today there are no wrinkles, but I'd rather that there were. I have hair growing on my breasts. It's horrible. It's got to be because of those damned herbs. I went to the herbalist to smash her face in, but her chambers were empty. She must have known what would happen to me and legged it. My family is starting to suspect something. Although I'm cutting the hair back, which is growing back faster and faster. I've tried to put the idea out of my head, but I can't hold it back any longer. Maybe it wasn't the herbs that have led to this, but a curse placed upon me by an old beggar whom I had to chase off one time. I have to find out. I want to hire someone who can find the herbalist. I cannot think, and it is getting hard to write. Loneliness, no family. Eat. I want to eat. Not a good spoon. Empty spoons. Nothing. Eat. It hurts. Mirror lies. No.
Poor girl. Realized she was changing into a monster. Recorded it in her diary. Poignant. Spoon's incredible. The craftsmanship must have graced a rich man's table. No spoon you have shall say to you. Whatever lives here treated that literally. Still searching for the right spoon. Smashed mirror. As if someone couldn't stand to look at themselves. The monster. Journal's author, maybe? Spoon key. Sophisticated crafting. Tag bears a description. White's a true collector.
Spoon key note. This certifies the item up for auction. An antique spoon key forged at the Christopherson and Sons workshop in 1210. Belongs to Smigol Serkis, owner of the Pheasantry. Asked the owner of the Pheasantry about the mysterious spoon. While snooping about the cursed Trastamara estate, Geralt happened on a strange spoon-like key. Attached it was a note. The note labeled the strange spoon as the property of the Pheasantry, known far and wide to be the finest tavern in all the Duchy of Toussaint.
Another spoon. Yep, just as normal as the last one. White's obsessed. A real collector. Thoroughbred. None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall say to you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror. Skeletons. Doubt they came here willingly. This have anything to do with the curse? None shall sit and dine with you at your table. It'd make sense. No claw or fang marks. Probably choked to death. Right arm bit right off. Teeth all knocked out. Somebody tried to force feed him. Broken neck. Indentation in the skull, packed in the head with something heavy.
You want to know how the health bar goes back up with this build? I'll talk to you a little bit about it. Like, I'm not like really an expert on it, but we'll try to piece it together here. I think that the magic is in the alchemy tree. And where is it? Basically, this build circles around acquired tolerance here, where basically that means that every known level 1, 2, or 3 alchemy formula increases your maximum toxicity by 1. So by the time the logic is this, by the time you're this far in the game, you pretty much have almost every alchemy formula that you can get. So therefore, this scales up very, very high. And so basically, your maximum toxicity goes through the roof. I think that it bumps up your maximum toxicity to like 260. So that means you can drink almost every potion known to man in the game with very little consequence. And tissue transmutation is also part of this build too, but I don't need it too much right now because I don't really drink a whole lot of decoctions. So I will be putting it in one of these slots here as I unlock it. But basically what tissue transmutation does is when you consume a mutagen decoction, it increases your maximum hit points by 1,000 for the decoction's effective duration. And as you know, like, decoctions last like an hour, so that gives you an extra 1,000 HP right off the bat. Synergy is also part of this build too. It increases the bonus you get for the mutagen placed in the mutagen slot by 50%. So that right there has bumped these vitality mutagens. They don't just give me 150 extra vitality, they give me 900, for example. And over here, this one gives me 675 because I have the cat school techniques here, where every piece of light armor increases critical hit damage by 25% and fast attack damage by 5%. Endure pain. This is key too because I just said that you can pretty much drink every potion with little consequence because we've increased our toxicity capacity. Well, for every time that our toxicity exceeds what they consider safe threshold, and most of the time it will be because we'll be downing pretty much every potion known to the Witcher, our maximum vitality gets boosted by another 50%. So this build doesn't so much really heal you as much as it just drives your maximum hit points through the roof. And the healing really comes in where, I mean, you can throw back pretty much a swallow potion all you want with little to no consequence. And to basically, and to end this build is going to be, I'm going to end it with this right here, Euphoria, where each point of toxicity increases the damage dealt by swords and signs intensity by 0.75%. And so that kind of caps off the build right there. Because this is a toxicity-focused build, we're going to be always pushing our toxicity threshold to the max. This will synergize with that by driving our attack power through the max. Our attack power will more or less scale with toxicity. And this is how this build works, and that's how you get most of your... Really, you don't really need to worry about healing. You're going to be doing a lot of damage that things just won't stand up to your attacks. Decaying Letter. Dear Master Levasseur, I know you track outlaws for pay. I have an unusual assignment for you. No doubt you wonder why I have drawn you out here and why we cannot meet in person. You see, in my present situation, any kind of meeting is very risky. Not so much for me. As for the person with whom I meet, for I am afflicted by a curse, or, as I hope, and why I have turned to you, the side effects of medicine given to me by some time ago by some herbalist. Soon after I visited this herbalist, she disappeared without a trace. I desperately wish to understand my illness, so I wish to hire you to find her. When you do, learn as much from her as you can about the medicine she gave me. If my suffering is a result of her wickedness, then make her provide an antidote. I assure you I have ample wealth and will reward you with no small part of it for your services. If it turns out my suffering is not the fault of the herbalist, please let her go. I will then have a different task for you, because this shall mean I am afflicted by a terrible curse which only the gods can cure. I believe it was cast upon me by a certain beggar who came by the manor while I was hosting a soiree for a few friends. If you can find that vagrant, I will pay you double. Sadly, all I remember of him is that he sold mirrors. Oh gosh, is that Gaunter O'Dim, Master Mirror? From Hearthstone? I'm aware this is not much aid for your hunt, yet I trust in your considerable talents and wish you the best of luck. Marlene de Trastamara. Oh, and Karstrom, back to the build discussion. The build, there was an alchemy ability here that actually increases the effectiveness, I think, of your potions. No, excuse me, increases your potion duration. Yeah. So all of these abilities also increase the length. Like if I drink a swallow potion, all these abilities stack, and increase the total length that the swallow potion lasts while it heals you. Maybe that's what's actually allowing me to heal myself so quickly. See, each one, potion duration time 25%, potion duration time 25%, potion duration time 15%, and so on and so on. So basically, this is an alchemy build, and I can tell you, if you have access to YouTube, and I presume you do, you're on here. Look up this YouTube user by the name of Fightin' Cowboy, and he shows you this build. He illustrates it. He pretty much describes the logic of how this build works. He even has the recommended swords and gear you should have for it.
Woman's name scratched into this wooden spoon. Romantic.
So I'm not taking the credit for this build. I didn't make it up, But so far it works. Works pretty well. Works a lot better than the other build. I had no rhyme or reason. I was just literally it was the build that I had started the game with, where I was just picking stuff up that sounded interesting. But I figured I'm in the level 40 range in this game, and I'm in in-game content. I might as well.
Actually does seem like a White's lair. Bit atypical, but still. Cauldron should be somewhere around here.
I should try to focus my build onto something that's more effective.
Spoon. Pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old. Another spoon. Yep, just as normal as the last one. What I was looking for. White's not particularly tidy. Table set. White, who lives here, is getting ready for some sort of feast. White that lives here, definitely afflicted by a curse, and it's been trying desperately to lift it. White's obsessed. Real collector. Thoroughbred.
Sweet, I just leveled. That means I have 2 ability points. I think that's exactly what I needed. Let's see here. No, I need one more ability. Excuse me.
Cauldron's empty, unfortunately. We just need some brew. Afraid he won't get that. No choice but to hide and wait for the saliva glands and their bearer. Need a spot that'll let me observe the cauldron. Spoon. Pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old.
Words of wisdom on beastly curses. Monstrous curses in their description. Introduction. Curses that change a fellow into a monstrous creature have existed since the dawn of time. They have a variety of origins and a variety of effects. It normally happens that a mage or sorceress casts a curse and the spell changes the subject. It does not always happen straight away. Sometimes the person who has been cursed changes. Slowly, bit by bit. It also happens that a normal fellow can cast a curse, someone whose conscience is clear and who has done good in their life. Such a person can acquire power, and thus the aggrieved can place a curse on the evildoer. Such curses are strong and cannot be removed easily. Thus everything by which human suffering is atoned is long, lasting, and painful.
Another spoon. Yep, just as normal as the last one. White's obsessed. Real collector. Thoroughbred. Thousands of them here. White's been a collector for years.
Hide in a place with a good view of the cauldron. There we are. Jeez.
not gonna hurt you. Wanna help? I've seen the words of the curse on the walls. Think I know how to lift it. You tried to bring folk here, convince them to sit at the table with you, right? Well, I'm gonna be your guest now. Your willing guest. Just need a bit for Regis. And now we'll tend to you. Need to get this right. Words of the curse were, none shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall say to you, never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror. Need to get this right. Words of the curse were,
None shall sit.
and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall say to you, never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror.
This is a riddle. I'll make sure I get this right.
Need to get this right. Words of the curse were, none shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall say to you, never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror.
I think we need to swap spoons.
Been searching for the right spoon for years, right? The curses can be tricky. Key to this one just might be that you can't eat with your own spoon. That's why we've swapped.
Oh my gosh. This almost makes me want to vomit.
This isn't right. I missed something? Listen, gonna stand up real slow. Gotta search the house again. Sit tight, I'll be right back. Calm down.
Geralt found the spotted white at an old abandoned estate. The Witcher chose not to fight it, opting instead to hide in a wardrobe and await his chance. Though how it would come, he could only guess. Once the white had come and gone, Geralt collated his saliva, which the monster had added to the brew it was making in a large cauldron.
Damn it, didn't work. Ate that vile stuff for nothing. Got the brew for Regis at least. Can't do anything for the white, though. Except cut it down. Seems I'll have to kill the white in its own junk heap. Regis will get what he wants, though. There is that.
Well, I screwed that up. I had intentions to lift in the curse, but it didn't work.
Come on, Roach.
Oh,
Greetings.
Biography of the Vampire Regis from the Quill of Dandelion. One of the most extraordinary individuals that I have encountered during my numerous adventures as Geralt's side was the vampire known as Regis. To be precise, he was known as Emil Regis Rohelic Terzieff Godefroy. By his own reckoning, he was 428 years old and was the descendant of unfortunate beings trapped in our world during the conjunction of spheres. You are surely thinking, dear reader, about catacans, alps, and other such monsters, and are pondering how it was that the Witcher, who it must be admitted is a slayer of monsters, came to keep such company. I must here explain that Regis was a higher vampire, a creature which physically does not differ all that much from a man. Higher vampires are also much more powerful than their wild confreres, and their regenerative abilities significantly outpace those of anything else you have encountered or can even imagine. But it is not because of his outer appearance or inner strengths that Regis became our dear companion. True, he can be pretentious and rather pompous in his frequent length perorations, but one would be hard-pressed to find in him the haughtiness usually present in higher beings. Regis valued human life dearly and refused to kill unless forced to do so. As he once confessed, higher vampires do not in fact need to drink blood at all in order to survive. They treat it somewhat as we treat alcohol. A rough grasp of this dynamic might be given to you by the fact that when we met him, Regis had been abstinent for years. He never revealed to us why he decided to join our search for Ciri. He had never met her before, nor did he live to see her. He died at Stig Castle during the battle against the Mad Mage of Vilgefortz, who was responsible for the whole affair. He died for a cause which he surely did not fully understand, but he did it to defend those he held dear, and simply because it was the right thing to do. I shall always remember him as an rural surgeon reeking of herbs. That is how he came to us during our first encounter at the Fincarn Necropolis, when he treated me and my companions to a fantastic brew he made from mandrake root. Wherever you are, my friend, bottoms up. And I guess that was a nod maybe to the events in Witcher 2. Arcadius Borovic lived to a ripe old age. In fact, he lived so long he died of boredom. share play. What does share play do? I think I've tried that before, and I don't know if I don't think it worked that well. I think I tried to share play Bloodborne with my brother. And I think he said it had something to do with my internet connection not being good enough to do it.
Think your friend's hand will make for a nice broth?
You've clearly honed your sense of humor. But we are not cannibals, Geralt. I took a fragment of tissue from their hand. It will suffice to prepare some resonance.
What did you do with the rest?
I cremated it, as our codex commands. A raven told me you'd acquired the necessary ingredient.
Pretty helpful creatures. Call on them often?
I try not to overdo it. But they can be so useful. As they were now, when I merely needed to be sure I could arrive in time should things go sour.
Managed fine alone, but thanks for the thought. Gonna need much longer to finish brewing resonance? Mentioned a last ingredient, too. What about that?
That, I fear, might prove troublesome. You see, to use the concoction to summon the memories of one, the solution must contain the blood of another specimen of the same species.
Shouldn't be a problem. I happen to know a higher vampire who should be willing to help. Right, Regis?
It's not that simple, I'm afraid. While you were away, I tried my damnedest to identify a replacement, but alas, none such exists.
Not sure I understand what the problem is. Can't we just draw some of your blood?
The blood must be in an agitated state. As I'm certain you know, higher vampires can change their corporeal shell. As our flesh changes, so does our blood's chemical composition. To make a long story short, I shall need to induce in myself a state of strong psychokinetic arousal. In brief, madness, rabidity. And that stands to be very, very dangerous.
Dangerous? Why? I mean, you'll still be you, right?
True, but I should be highly agitated, in a state of fury. You know better than I that fury cannot be controlled. If you've ever seen an enraged vampire, you know very well that all who find themselves nearby will be in grave danger.
How will we handle that? I'd rather not have you lunge at me, claws extended.
That makes two of us. But worry not. I've thought it through very thoroughly. Details to follow soon.
All right, so what do you want to do?
We shall visit Tesha Mudna, an ancient vampire estate. There we will find cages suspended in the air. I will enter one, be confined. You will lure beasts there. Beasts you will then kill. The bloodletting should prove profuse. Abundant enough so that the blood scent will drive me mad. Wild.
Tesha Mudna. What's it like?
It is a place of torment. A torture chamber. Long ago, shortly after we'd arrived in this world, one among us named Kagmar developed such a taste and lust for human blood that in one night he could imbibe an entire village. This brought trouble on the entire species. Common folk wearied quickly of living in constant fear. They began to hunt us, seek the aid of mages and witches in tracking us down.
So what? Not like they could ever hope to kill you.
But they were bothersome. Forgive the comparison, but when did you last enjoy mosquitoes buzzing around your head? In any case, the other vampires decided something had to be done. Kagmar had to be caught and punished. A torture chamber was thus outfitted in the dungeons of Tesha Mudna. Inside it, a cage made entirely of a special alloy of silver, dalvinite, and meteorite steel. Kagmar was captured and locked in the cage. Sat there over 2 centuries, driven to fury time after time, never able to escape. Thus I know the cage will withstand the fury to which we shall drive my humble being.
Little expedition's starting to sound dangerous. Think I better prepare.
I understand completely. Do tell me when you're ready to set off.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ready to depart on that just yet. Once Regis received the penultimate ingredient required to brew resonance, he said for the time had come to tackle the most difficult challenge, for apart from all else, resonance had to include the blood of a higher vampire. At first, Geralt saw this as no challenge at all, as standing before him was a representative of said species. Yet Regis revealed that the blood he needed had to have a specific chemical composition. His blood would change only under conditions of great suffering. Regis offered to endure this without hesitation. You said you need help with Witcher, like, what type of help? Like with the build or something like that, or? Regeneration potion formula. 8 measures of vervain extract, Leichenfang, Sancorum, Althanthra, broth made of young mandrake shoots. Grind the larger ingredients, add the smaller ones whole, boil everything in a bronze kettle using a crystal water. Consume the mixture twice daily in half-measure doses. Does not exceed the recommended dosage. My last thought before I succumb to sleep. My last thought before falling asleep. If there is no death, does life exist? Hate is a very interesting feeling. I have noticed that people improve themselves with it to great effect. Sometimes I would like to stop thinking. If we were to create a god as the humans have, what would he be like? People justify bad deeds by good intentions. I'm not sure if there is a greater idiocy. I would drink the freshly squeezed blood of an infant. I know I can't, but I hope that its velvety taste will send me to sleep. I strive to live like a person, and it means that I have ceased to feel good amongst people as well as among my own. Maybe I made a big mistake. I have always wanted to write, I'm very tired and fuck it all. People don't think about the present. They usually remember old times or worry about the future. I have a feeling that my friend Detloff will die. I am sad. Interesting. The share play, how is that going to work? Like, if I share play with you, does that mean you're going to play my character and I'll play your character? You know, I'm trying to understand. I think that's kind of how it works, because if I recall, I wanted to let my brother check out Bloodborne. I think I'm about to level. Yeah, I am about to level. Believe it or not, I think I can attack a few creatures and just level, and then I'll have enough to go get the Euphoria. Oh, well. I'm going to end the stream here. It's, what is it, 11:27? It's like 30 minutes before lunchtime. I haven't eaten anything. I haven't, no breakfast. I've just been drinking this, Blackstrap molasses concoction that I made here. And we just completed a mainline quest, so this would be a pretty good opportunity to end here. I do have the rest of the day off and even tomorrow off, so once I get done running some errands around the house, like washing dishes, washing clothes, prepping food and everything, if I got enough time, I'll come back later this afternoon to stream more of The Witcher 3, Blood and Wine, and yeah, I'll do that then, and I guess I'll come help. I'm going to see what Karsten wants in the chat. This looks like he needs some help with the tree. So I'll do that in the meantime. Peace out.